So I wanted to share 3 chapters that are very brief from this beautiful book, that it's Daughters of Copper Women, and I think it's one of the most beautiful books I ever read, and the most informative in tale, like indigenous tale version of the last matriarchal women's society, indigenous women's society in Canada, like Native Americans. I mean, like the talks about the women mysteric circles, I would say, in Native American societies in Canada, in North America. And so the first is the Children of Happiness. It's about 2 pages. And then there is the Mayo's Key. And then there is Song of Bear. And I'm going to make 3 separate videos about it, so I can share this with who wants to listen and maybe be and then maybe find inspiration to read her books. She wrote these and another book called The Journey, that it's very, very beautiful and talks about yes, the Native Americans in Canada. There was Song of Bear, so this is page 95. There was a young woman who obeyed all the laws of cleanliness and never went to the hills during her period, and did all the things we are supposed to do, but got loved by a bear anyway. It was the time of Susie's menstrual period. It felt good to be around a woman during her sacred time. Good to be able to smell the special body perfume, to share in the specialness of it, expecting my own period to start any day, wondering, as it seemed I always did, how it was that the women of the village mostly all had their periods at around the same time. Finally, since I had never been able to figure it out myself, I asked my granny. She looked at me as if she couldn't believe anybody could be so simple, and shook her head gently. "The light, Kiki," she sighed. "It is because of the light. Used to be, before electricity and strong light made it possible for people to stay up half of the night, that we all got up at when the sun awoke and went to bed with the sun, and because we all got the same amounts of light and dark, our body time was all the same, and we all come full at all about the same time." "I don't understand," I admitted, feeling more than a bit dumb. "Well, I do not either." She's not. I don't know if it is something in our eyes or our heads or our bellies or what. I only know that it's something to do with the light. And since everybody around here goes to bed about the same time and gets up about the same time, do you understand how and why the geese go south? Then why do you have to understand these? Margherita, vieni qua. No, amore, non si sta giù. Sorry. She pattered around the kitchen for a few minutes, sucking her lip, making tits and noises with her tongue, shooting sideways looks at me. And then she smiled and sat down at the table with me and took my hand. Used to be women weren't allowed to go up the mountains during their time because of the bears. Bears got big sharp noses and they smelled the blood of woman time and think it was female bear and trying to mate. Probably didn't intend any harm, but being hugged by a big male bear is a good way to wind up in a bad shape. So the waiting house was always protected from the bears, and women stayed out of the mountains. There was a young woman who obeyed all the laws of cleanliness and never went to the hills during her period, and did all the things we are supposed to do, but got loved by a bear anyway. What it was, the bear saw her and just fell in love, just as soft and sappy and foolish as anybody is when love lightning hits her. The bear figured the young woman would be afraid, so it hid in the bushes and never tried to touch her or to speak to her. He just watched with its little round eyes and shook with love. Watched the young woman fishing and watched her gathering berries, watched her walking and watched her laughing for days, shaking with love and feeling there would never be any hope for this love. Well, one day the young woman came back from gathering food and she stopped at the freshwater pool and took a bath. Stripped off all her clothes, walked slowly to the pool and swam around a bit. Stood in water halfway up her legs and bent over to wash her face. Lay back in the water and washed her hair. Stood up with her hair dripping wet down her back and rubbed the body with soft sand and twisted this way and twisted that way, and then turned and looked right at the bush where the bear was hiding. "I know you are in there," the young woman laughed. "I know you've been following me, watching me, scaring fish my way so I could catch them. You came out from that bush and let me see you. You come out from that bush and let me see you." And the bear just about swallowed its tongue, but it stood up, sunlight glittering on its black fur, and it walked towards the freshwater pool, just as scared as anybody is when one you love takes notice of you, when the one you love takes notice of you for the first time. "Come into the water," the young woman invited, and the bear walked into the water, and they swam together and they splashed each other, and the girl fastened her fingers in the bear's thick fur, and the bear swam, pulling the young woman easily. Then they lay in the sun to dry, and the bear stared at the young woman and wanted to touch her and love her. "I love you," the bear managed, even though its voice was caught in its throat. "Why do you hide?" the young woman asked. "How could anybody as beautiful as you love a bear?" And a tear trickled from the poor bear's eye. Well, the young woman took the bear's head in her lap and stroked its fur and kissed its nose and said, "But you're beautiful, strong and gentle and beautiful, and I do love you." "I'm a female bear," the bear said. The young woman sat for a long time, and then she laughed and said, "If I can love a creature that looks as different from me as you do, why should I care if you are a male bear or a female bear? I love you, bear. I wouldn't not love you if you were skinny or if you were fat, or if you were shorter, or if you were taller, because it's the love in you that I love, and the beauty in you that I love anyway. The young woman laughed. Meat and bones don't matter. It's what's inside them, the love spirit. And she stood up, and the bear stood up, and the young woman put on her dress, and took the bear's paw, and walked off with her, up to the mountain, to the cave where the bear lived. And they went inside, and they loved each other. In the cold winter they slept together, and the bear's thick fur kept them both warm. And in the springtime they came from the cave together and danced and fished and were happy. And the bear wrote a song for the young woman and would sing to her, and the young woman was happy. And if people talked about it, they talked about the wonder of a woman and a bear living together and being happy, because the arrangement of bones and meat doesn't mean anything. And then my granny sang the song of bear for me and said I could write it down and share it. Anybody who can find the music for this song and sing it or dance to it is a sister of the bears and can ask to be admitted to the bear clan. And when you go in the mountains, whether it is your menstrual time or not, you wear a bell. So the bears will hear you and know you are their friend. So we are going to sing it. Now it came round for me about 2 years ago, the music, because I've been trying to find the music for this since this book came out. Since this book came out in Italian, that was about 1996 or 1997, because I first read it in Italian, I think. That's anyway when I read it. I bought these and I read both of them in Italian and in English. And anyway, this is the English version that I'm singing what she wrote exactly. The spirit of beauty has come with me. The spirit of beauty has left her friends and family to come with me. Family, come and take her from me. I would die. I could die. Spirit of beauty walks with me. I will gather berries for her and tubers and roots from the hills. I will bend myself to please her. Will clothes for her, keep her warm. I wrote this song for her. I sing it now for her. The spirit of beauty has come with me to be free, to be free. The spirit of beauty has come with me to set us free, to set my love free, to set the love free. The spirit of beauty has come with me